Hi everyone. In this video, we will see how we can complete this particular lab called Create Role-Based Access Control Custom Roles. In this challenge lab, you will create a custom role-based access control through two mode. One is using PowerShell, then the other one is using Portal. So in both the way, how we can create a custom roles. Let me just launch this particular lab. It might take a couple of seconds. Let me wait till this load gets created. Yeah, the lab is ready. Let us get started. So once you start the lab, you will be getting two windows. One is the instruction, what you need to follow. And then the other is a browser tab where you try to log into Azure portal. You can just go through all these things. In this lab, you will be getting only 30 minutes with one time 10 minutes addition. So technically, you will be having 40 minutes to complete this particular lab. Let me just go ahead and start doing the lab activity. The first thing is that we need to configure Azure Cloud Shell PowerShell session. So for that, we need to log inside Azure portal. And this is the login ID and the password what I'm going to use. So in here, I'll say use another account. Let me paste this particular user ID and then the password to log in. You can say cancel. Okay, fine. So now next thing is that you need to launch Cloud Shell. In that you select PowerShell session. For that, go to Start Cloud Shell. Select select an option PowerShell. And what you need to do, it's given in the hint also. You can just expand this and go ahead and go do accordingly what is given in the instruction. So let's go on mount storage account and select my subscription and say apply. And I want to create a storage account and say next. In here, I'll leave the subscription as it is. The resource group, you can select from the drop down menu and the region to be East US. If you type US and you can get East US selected. And this is the storage account name. Let me copy paste it here. And then this is the shell name, file share name, and say create. Once it is created, what you can do is that you can just go and click on verify. If everything was successful, you get green tick mark on both these sentences. It means that you have done successfully. Let me just wait for some time. Yeah, it took some time for creating these two. It is loading my PowerShell session. Let me just try to verify this. Yeah, this says that your task, what you have done is successful. And now what you have to do is that you have to take the screenshot of this particular page, including both this instruction where you have this success message, as well as this page. So for that, you can go for snipping tool. But before that, you add a sticky note for this, which should reflect your name. So somewhere you can keep this and you can add a name if, in case you need the date and time. If you want, you can add. And then you can go for snipping tool and snip this entire page. That's how you take a screenshot. So you might be knowing about it. Done. So we have completed the first activity. Now let's go and create custom role using Azure PowerShell. So create a custom role using Azure PowerShell is somewhere here. Yeah, this is the one. Now let's go and do this first task. So obtain the resource ID by running some command. So the command you can get it here. So just let's copy and paste it here. So this command called get AZ resource group will be getting the resource ID of the group, what you have mentioned here. And now we need to copy this particular resource group ID and paste it inside this particular text box. So you're supposed to get the resource ID of this particular resource group and paste it inside this particular text box. It is done now. Next task to be done is identify the operations associated with the virtual machines. Okay, for this, you can expand this particular hint and then copy this particular command, go and try to execute it. You are going to get AZ provider operation related to the virtual machine. So it gives you a whole bunch of activity if you can maximize this. So there are a lot of activity you are performing in this. And next is like, let's retrieve the role definition for the virtual machine contributor role. For that, let's go and execute this particular command. It will get the role definition of virtual machine contributor. That definition gets converted to JSON, and that entire content will be written to this particular file called VM operator role under this particular directory. Let me just hit enter. Yes, it is done now. The next thing is that this file has some content. That content we need to edit it. For editing, we need to go and run this particular command. Let's get inside this particular directory first and then open that file using code editor. So this is code editor and let's hit enter. If it is asking you to confirm, you can say confirm. And then you have to rerun these commands once again. Just repeating those command execution again. Yeah. It opens the file what we have created in our previous command, in this command. Now we need to edit the content of this particular file. So let's first edit the name. So the name to be modified. So this, we are modifying it with virtual machine operator, some random number, and ID to be deleted. A new ID will be generated when we create this custom role. And this is custom role, so it should be made as true. If it is you're not creating, it is already there, then that will be inbuilt role. So that is why is custom was false. Now we are creating our own, so we'll change it to true. The description part, let's modify. Yes, and as enable scopes also to be modified, so that you can scroll down and you can find it here. So this let us replace with the enable scope, and then the actions. So under actions, let's delete all, and we have to have only three. So those three are listed here. Just copy paste it here. And if you want, you can just check your modification should look something similar to this. And then you can say there won't be any ellipse button visible, but there is a button. You can say save, and then you can close this particular editor. Once this is done, then we have to go and create the custom role with this particular file. For that, you can get the command here. So this we have already done. So let me just copy this command and paste it here. So now we are going to create a new role definition based on the file what we have edited before. Yes, the role definition is created. You can check your work. Sometimes, so the role what we have created now will take some time to get detected. So you may get the last verification to be unsuccessful, but that's okay. Yeah, we have anyways created this VM operator role. We can come back and test it once again after 5 minutes, then this might become successful. Now you have to take this screenshot. Instead of waiting, let me go to the next thing. So the next thing is creating the custom role using Azure portal. So now we are going to create a custom role based on this storage account contributor role. So let's go to portal and edit this. So because we are going to portal, what we can do, we can just close this Cloud Shell. So this is portal. And in here, let me search for a resource group. And on resource group, let me select the only resource group which is available. Under this, let me go to IAM. And under IAM, let's select roles. In here, let me search for storage account contributor role. So this is the storage account contributor role. We can just view it. So these are the roles we have totally. Now let's go and create a custom role named storage account contributor. So this is the new name what we're going to give for the custom role what we are creating now. Okay, I think there is nothing to be done in this. Okay, fine. Let me just close this. And in here, let's create a custom role. You can just expand this. We can go to check access. And check access. Okay, fine. So in here, instead of just going with this, slightly the UI got modified. So what we can do, we can directly go for add custom role. So create a custom role. In here, the name of the role, what we can give is this custom role name. The description, there is no anything. If fine, we can just leave the description and unentering anything. Baseline permission, let's clone a role. Clone a role, yeah. And which role are you going to clone? That's to be storage account contributor. Storage account contributor. And we are clicking next. Okay. So this is done. And this is the page where we are right now. So, and here you are just reviewing the permission, and then you are clicking next without doing any modification. So as enable scope, note that the custom role will be available only to this particular resource group. Yeah, the role what we are creating is can be used only under this resource group, not any other resource group within our subscription. So you can just go on to edit. So next, and in here edit. So this is a JSON document related to the role. Let me just try to edit this. Under edit, delete the line that contains Microsoft.support. This should be deleted. Also, you can read through this statement, like you need to even delete this comma also. And then you can say review, create, and create. And click on OK. See, it might take few minutes before the role appears in the Azure portal. So you have to keep refreshing this. Let's do one thing, go back and check this once. Yeah. See, it will take some time for the creator role to be visible for any kind of operation. Similarly, you will also verify this as well. It may fail sometimes. If so, then you have to wait for another 5 minutes and then you can refresh. So it's failed because it is just created. It might take some time. So now add your name here, wait for some more time if in case you have time, and then take the screenshot of this particular screen. And that's it. Thank you.